So we are live. Welcome back to the show, guys. This is the Michael Ellis Show, and we are watching episode 3 with RJ Ahmed, mastering the Dream 100. So, how are you today, RJ?
I'm great, man. What about you?
I'm good. Whereabouts in the world are you from, RJ?
Yeah, so right now I'm in Pakistan. It's 3 a.m. But
3 a.m.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. I'm a freaking night owl out there.
Are you not bothered about working through the night, or do you like it? Do you live for it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how my routine goes on. I don't work in day. I work at night.
Cool. So you're a student, are you?
Didn't get you what you said? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah, we're back online. I can hear you now. Yeah,
Awesome.
I
So
think that
what you
was
said?
myself. I said you're a student at RJ.
Yeah, I'm a student, but I call myself as a part-time student out there because I just go into university out there just to make sure I just get a degree. I don't study that much, so I call myself part-time student. So yeah.
Right. So no plans of dropping out or anything like that. You're gonna complete it. You're gonna finish it.
Yeah, actually, the only issue was I had planned to drop out, but the only reason I haven't dropped out just because like we are living in tier 2 or tier 3 countries out there. For us, it's gonna the immigrations and move to another country like for example US, UK, Canada. It's gonna be easier if we have just freaking formal degree. Otherwise, we just don't need for anything for a job or so because who's gonna do it? So yeah, that is the only reason
Yeah.
I'm just doing it. Otherwise, I was about to drop out, but then the people was like, hey, for immigration at least it's compulsory. I was like, fine, let's do it. Yeah, I just don't focus
Yeah.
that much, to be very honest, because my friends know about it. But yeah, apart from that, I'm just doing it as a part-time, and that's what I call it.
Cool. So you're part-time student, full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's what I say.
That's what you say. How are you liking it? Are you loving it? Are you loving being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, 100%. Because for me, it's like it's my third year into like this entrepreneurship and everything out there. I've
Mm-hmm.
if you felt something that gives you the push that you knew that you never gonna get, and you're getting it now and positively, constructively, freaking worth it. I never thought about I never thought about I'm gonna be a speaker. I never thought about I'm gonna be in front of a lot of people on stage. Like even in the past when I was when I was younger, I wasn't able to speak in front of like 2 to 3 people out there that in terms of debate or like I was like I've spoke in front of 150 people. That's a lot of people, especially like for me personally when I never spoke and spoke first time. Everything that happened out of my comfort zone, it happened just because I got into entrepreneurship. The reason I've been able to get in front of the camera, it was like entrepreneurship forced me to get in front of the camera out there. And then not only I jumped on the camera, it made me possible to get in touch with 7 8 figure entrepreneurs that I never thought about it's gonna be when I started into the journey. You know, so I am freaking loving
Yeah.
it. I enjoyed every moment, and I'm like all about it. So yeah.
Great. So tell us all about this, the Dream 100 concept. How did you come across it, first of all? Did you come across it through Russell Brunson, I'm guessing?
Yeah. So the way that I came across is through one funnel away challenge. I was doing one funnel away challenge out there. No, like before even getting into one funnel away challenge, I had .com secrets. Okay. And when I started to read .com secrets out there, and Russell Brunson have Dream 100 in his every book. Traffic secrets have a
Yeah.
lot of concept about Dream 100, but when I got to know about what Dream 100 is in Outcome Secret, it started to give me more, intrigue that okay, that's a freaking awesome concept. Then I got myself more clarified when I got into one funnel away challenge, and then Russell, Steve, they were talking about one funnel away challenge and Dream 100 a lot more, and I was like, okay, that's freaking cool. But there was a time when I realized that if I can go in, I was just thinking about creating my own show. I was interviewing some of the people out there, 3 to 4 people, and then I was like, what if I use Dream 100 and to get people on my show? Because like you just need to get your foot in the door, and then later on you will be able to figure out everything on your own, you know. So I was like,
Yeah.
what if I get Dream 100 of my Dream 100 on my show, just to make sure I can create a relation with them. So that is what I started to work on. So I got Spencer as the very first guest after nurturing him for like 2 months, from the day of funnel hacking live to probably March in Traffic Secrets launch. I was like nurturing him just to make sure finally can get hold of him. And he was doing Traffic Secrets launch, and I was like, man, I would love to buy the trilogy box set from you. I know it doesn't mean anything because you're a freaking six-figure affiliate marketer. Like, like what's $100 gonna do for you? But I'm gonna buy from you if you give me 30 minutes of your time. And he reached out to me. He was like, hey, I owe you this, and let's book up. We booked up the interview, and then he was like, and then I replied that, hey, I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna buy the trilogy box set from your link. Let's do this. So that was one of my jump start, because oftentimes I was in a call with Tanner, like Catherine's brother out there right now, before of our podcast, and I was discussing about the exact same
Yeah.
thing, that mostly people out there just don't have the guts to even go in and ask, and they just have things in brain that, oh, what if I got in contact with the person, like what's gonna happen? They never go in and ask, just because they probably create a bad image. It's fine, you're not gonna be good everywhere. If you want to be a good, just sell candies. That's the only way you can become good, you know so yeah, so that's how I came across with Dream 100 out there and started to shift literally everything that I started to do into Dream 100.
So you mentioned there about getting in front, well, opening up and talking to your Dream 100. But
Yeah.
did you have any fears in reaching out to people when trying to contact or work your way through your Dream 100?
Yeah, so what happened was, like I told you, my very first guest was Spencer. And for me, I
Mhm.
told you the reason why people just don't ask, because they don't have the guts to do so. Okay, for me, even to ask from Spencer, I have huge respect, because I'm an affiliate marketer. And then you see someone who is like 7-figure affiliate marketer, and you were like just freaking starting out, and you saw him probably as a fan, as a person to follow, as a mentor, whatever the case is. You have a lot of respect. And then he have a lot of standard for you, just because like he's on another level and you just started out, or whatever the case is. So it is hard in the start, but as Russell Brunson says, that is your biggest domino. Once you've done that once, it's like it's gonna be easier. Like once I got Spencer, I reached out to Akbar Sheikh. Okay, I reached out, I went into him. I'm like, hey, I have a show, this, I've interviewed this. I would love to interview you. He said, cool, let's do this. I got Akbar Sheikh. Then I got funnel. I even booked Jim Edwards as well. My Facebook account got shut. I got Facebook slap. I was out. So that is where the interview didn't took place. But I even booked Jim Edwards, and everyone was like, "You just went into it, and you even booked Jim Edwards." Like, damn, like how you've done that? That's freaking crazy. And then I booked funnel hacking. Like then I started to get a lot of now I get more confidence. That hey, I don't care. Someone is gonna say no, or even if someone's gonna say yes, it's gonna take me a lot of time to book them up. And there is something that I call constructive follow up. That you make sure that you follow up, but you don't make them, make them. I just don't just go away. Do constructive follow up in such a way they feel themselves compulsory that they're supposed to get on your show with respect. Okay, so that's how I started to get all of the people that I wanted to, apart from Russell Brunson, at least for now. Apart from Russell Brunson, I got started to get all of the people out there. And like few days back, one of the guests asked me the question that do you have scripted based question, or like have you sent them the question? I'm like, no. Every question is raw. I do my own research, never send any of them questions. But the only reason they be on my shows, and pretty much everyone, is because they probably feel connection, and they realize I'm not going to ask anything that's going to hurt their brand or something like that. I'm going to ask real based question, but not against their integrity. But thoughtful based questions as well, which is super important. So I don't afraid to ask anything. I can ask literally anything I want in terms of respect side. So people just don't do counter questions. I do that. So that is also one of the key points out there. How I was like, damn, now I had my big domino went out. Now I'm gonna go in and start to do my stuff.
Fantastic, fantastic. And for anybody watching out there, could you just briefly explain what the Dream 100 concept is? Because we haven't
Yeah, for
actually
sure.
explained the concept.
Yeah. So if people don't know about what Dream 100 is, Dream 100 is basically a concept of how, like, if you have a list of influencers out there in your market, okay, it could be 10, 15, even 100, it doesn't matter, how you can go in and create the relationship with those A-level influencers in your market, so that ultimately they can go in and promote your product. Okay, it's like you go in any market out there. The best example, if you are in this internet marketing niche, you go in and create a relation with Russell Brunson, so that in the future he promotes your product. Because even though it's going to be long term, but imagine the audience that he have. Okay, he can make the whole money that you even made, like in like year, 2 year, 3 or 4 year time, in just one single campaign. So it's 100% worth it. So that is what Dream 100 is all about.
Yeah, yeah. And Russell Brunson actually uses the Dream 100 concept himself, doesn't he?
Yeah. So okay, that's a funny thing. What I'm gonna say is I've started to create a lot of relations in terms of like Dream 100 with pretty much every person who is in ClickFunnels. So I've interviewed affiliate manager on the side. I mean, even interviewed Dave, who is like freaking CEO of ClickFunnels. So what
Mm-hmm.
happened was, when I started to get a lot of interaction inside of the inside of ClickFunnels headquarters side. So what started to happen, Ben, who is former affiliate manager, he did specific training out there for us specifically of how ClickFunnels as $100 million per year company do Dream 100. So it's the foundation of their company. It's like everything for them, for what they do.
Exactly. The foundations for a is it $100 million company now per year? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a 9-figure company, isn't it?
absolutely. It's a nine-figure year
Yeah.
company. And if you understand one thing, most of the things that they've done, they started to nurture from the 7, 8 figure affiliate marketers to guys like Tony Robbins as Dream 100. So they literally cracked the code, especially in our niche. So if one can go in and identify how you can go in and go to even like 9, 10 figure business owners, wouldn't it be cool? It's freaking cool out there if you can go and do it. Because even if they don't sell your product, that even that network thing is huge. Because you get network,
Oh,
you
it's
get
massive.
exposure, and there's a lot of things. Absolutely, it's huge. Like I interviewed Steve. Steve started to repost it on his. People reached out to me and they're like, "You were on Steve Larson's story. I saw you on Steve Larson's story." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's cool." But yeah, it creates a lot of exposure and authority because his community is already pre-framed on him. If he's even posting the content, it makes a lot of effect. So that's the thing out there, which is like super important for people to understand regarding Dream 100.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So that's it's a fantastic background you've got in the background there. Is that a well? It's not a green screen, is it? It's an actual background.
Yeah, it's a natural background out there. It's not green screen.
Yeah, I thought it was. It's amazing. I love it. It's awesome. Do you have that on in the background and on every interview that you do, even your own?
So like I've told that to many people out there, just don't try to be perfect. Just don't try to be like I need to have a background. I need to have freaking lighting. if you just go in and watch my previous interviews out there, especially in the initial start that I've done, you interviewed me in the past. I didn't have any background
Yeah.
on back. There
No.
was nothing. So like, it's not compulsory. Even I haven't done that. Even my very first interview that I've done, not the part of my official show, but the very first interview, it was with Alex Elliott. I was in my hostel on my mattress out there, had one earphone. That was the mic connected with it as well. My webcam of my laptop itself, no external, Logitech based camera, no freaking lighting. It's okay. No one really cares in the initial start. Later on, you can go and upgrade on the stuff out there just to make sure everything works fine. So it's not compulsory.
Of course, it's not compulsory. I don't have a background. This is just a plain white wall and
Yeah,
myself
totally.
on.
Anyone can go in and
And
start
to be
like that.
fair, this is just a standard smartphone camera, nothing special. And we're just
Yeah.
using StreamYard. Yeah, you can pay for StreamYard, or you can use it for free. It's completely up to you. I mean, you can get started with next to nothing. Of course, you can.
Didn't get you what
Yeah,
you said?
did I cut out a little bit then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's it like working under conditions where the internet's not fantastic?
Well, like, okay, that's a really good question. You know what is, I don't have I have a pretty stable sort of internet, but and because I have my own device in the city I am, they don't have that fast internet. Okay, so I
Hmm.
had my own device that works like, it, it's not gonna be that fast again in terms of like the US people have, like they have 800 MB per second, like this freaking high, that high. For me, it's like high is 40-50 MB per second. But the point is, when I'm working, it's not get stuck. The only thing I care about is just to make sure that it really don't mess up when I'm doing an interview. You know,
Yeah.
because they're gonna realize, they're gonna say that it's fine, but for me, like, I really messed up the opportunity. For them it's not gonna be probably an issue, but for me it's a freaking huge issue out there, because I had the only opportunity to connect with them, and for me to open the loop with them as a connection was the chance of doing an interview with them. Because if I've done good interview, I have an open loop. If I haven't, it's gone. So for me, there is a huge thing out there when I always make sure that most of the time my internet went well, but sometimes, who knows, internet can mess up any freaking time. So sometimes it do happens. Yeah, and yeah, like when I was about to interview Steve, throughout the whole day the interview was that the internet was messing up, like real messing up
Hmm.
big time. But even like 5 minutes before the interview, it got fixed. I was like, that is the only sign of relief of the day. you know so that's what happened with me, because otherwise that was freaking Steve Larson. For me it was like, damn, I can't mess this interview up, I'm not supposed to. But yeah, internet can mess up really big time when it's needed, especially in the live streams.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So when you are building out your dream 100, your perfect 100, yeah, your dream 100, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, and you don't necessarily have to go in the same exact sub niche as yourself, do you? You can just go in the vertical as well, um, and expand outwards into the major niche instead of the sub niche. Am I correct in thinking that's right? And when you are researching your Dream 100 and selecting people to go follow up with or reach out to,
Yeah.
sorry.
So when we talk about Dream 100 and we start to even create our list to go and outreach, it could be anything. Someone who is absolutely similar in our niche, or someone whose business we can go in and integrate with our niche out there. Okay, so we can go in and integrate, because there's gonna be something. And the best example is Russell Brunson and Jim Edwards is the best example. Russell Brunson had all about funnels, but the issue was that Jim went in and fixed was the copy side. People can get
Hmm.
plug and play funnels, but they just don't know how to go in and write high converting copy, or at least have the structure how Russell have, and get it work. And that's how Jim went in and go and ask Russell, and then they did the JV and got funnel scripts into the market, which people start to use. So it's called integration market. You start to go in and integrate your businesses into other people. It was probably was of the same niche or sub niche out there, but wasn't the exact same thing. Jim offered copywriting. He didn't offer funnels. It was copywriting based software, and Russell Brunson had his own software. So it works so well. So that's how people can go in and create, Dream 100 as a sub Dream 100 list as well, and it works fine because you probably have heard that a lot of time. It's like ton of time is your network is your net worth. The reason why it happens is that network that you're gonna have, and okay, it depends. It depends upon the quality of people that you have in your network as well. So what's gonna happen with the network is you start to get in front of a lot of people. It's like a lot of people out there you're gonna get in terms with, and you're probably gonna have people from everywhere that probably have solutions, multiple products, multiple this, that, and that. There's gonna be some. It's not every, but it's gonna be some people out there who's gonna have some product you can go in and mix up, integrate with them, and that's a pretty cool idea for do this. So that's how you can go in and create your Dream 100 list. But some people just don't even create their list out there, and they're like Dream 100 not working, blah blah blah. This start to happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you say to the people that have tried Dream 100 and then failed at it? But yeah, so what would you say to them? How would you come across to say that this does actually work if you have the right techniques and the right knowledge to implement this properly?
Yeah. So one thing it reminds is people start to copy whatever we try to do, and it doesn't work for them. And the best thing what Russell Brunson said in his .com secret book is you're able to funnel hack what you can see outside of the funnel itself, what you can see. You're not able to see what's happening inside or what is, you're just able to see the tip of the iceberg, And people try to model the tip of the iceberg and then they're like, it's not working. So it's pretty common. Everyone just go in and do the exact same thing that other people are doing, like things like I do. And they're like, we're trying to reach out how you do, but it's not working. I'm like, you don't know everything. Okay, you don't know everything out there. So people try to go and do often mistake, but it's like it requires patience, it requires long-term mindset out there. Like I'm doing this Dream 100 stuff for probably like 9 months, okay, but I haven't utilized it for anything right now. Like I haven't used it for doing a CTA, any sort of. I'm getting them, nurturing them, creating relation, and it's a long-term mindset. It's not like whatever the recent product you have, you can go in and ask them to promote whatever the case is. Some of them I went in like create close relations, like really good friends. Some people is like, okay, they are part of my Dream 100. I can at least go in and text them out, you know. So people just don't have the long-term mindset, and I've already told you that they don't have the ability to do constructive follow-up. They're like, reached out to you but you didn't respond, blah blah blah. So what's happening over here? It's like, why, why do we even bother to just go in and even go on your interview, go on your show? You're not the only guy who's gonna ask. It's like 100 people gonna ask for the exact same thing again, because they're Dream 100. There are a lot of people who are gonna ask them even to be on the show. Okay, so that's how people just go and try in. They don't have long-term mentality, especially with Dream 100. Consider that process is probably 10 to 12-year old. Chet Holmes came with that process in around 2011 or 2010 when he talked about it publicly. It's been 11 years. This concept is still in the market. It was even before, but there wasn't any proper name. People probably call it influencer based marketing, but again, for influencers you pay for shoutouts. It's not Dream 100. you know so, but you can have a friend as an influencer, and then probably gonna go do a shout out for you. But yeah, that could be the possibility. But the other way around, if you want to talk about Dream 100, it's gonna be influencer based marketing, because those are like A level influencers. So that process is never going to go away, regardless whatever is using blogs. They've got hundreds of thousands of people as traffic. Not It's always going to work on YouTube, always going to work on Facebook, regardless whatever the traffic is. So people just don't want to go in and learn the main frameworks. They're like, once they've read it in the books, they seems like that they know everything.
Yeah, I can
So that's the case.
certainly. Yeah, so I can certainly turn around and say, like, I've read it in his books. I've read the Dream 100 concept in his books, and I'm going to tell you now. There's no way that I could turn around and say, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing there. I know how to do it, everything like that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm doing it. I'm literally doing it as we speak, because it's part of my strategy. But I am really learning as going, and I'm going to make tons of mistakes along the way. It's not something that, and like you said, it's a long-term strategy. It's a massively long-term strategy. I am going live. Part of what I'm doing right now is I'm going live every day for 365 days. From the majority of them, I want them to be interviews. So that's the reason why I'm implementing the Dream 100 myself. Because, like I said, the majority of them, I want them to be action-packed, value-driven interviews like this one. Well, like I said, I'm not expert on it. I'm nowhere near an expert on it, even though I'm trying to implement the strategies myself. But why do you think people get caught up in that trap of thinking that they're an expert in the Dream 100 when is it because it seems like a basic concept, but really something that's easy is quite difficult to do?
Yeah, so okay, that's an awesome question. But one thing I want to highlight over this, consider one thing, okay? When you think about Dream 100, who are those people you think about? You think about Chet Holmes, you think about Russell Brunson, you think about Danny Derricks. These are the top 3 people that you think about. But imagine there's a lot of people who read the concept. What if you become the 4th person? And you probably know about it, especially in this space. If anyone asks about Dream 100, apart from mentioning those people, because they already know these are, they start to mention me. And the only reason it happens, and the whole last year when I got on podcast, most of the podcasts I was just because of Dream 100. They was asking me how I'm doing Dream 100 and what's the different thing. So they literally positioned me, and there's a lot of different people, and there's a difference between a person, even they don't mention about, they're just creating noise, and people accept the fact that he is the guy. He's the go-to guy for Dream 100 out there. Anyone asks about Dream 100, here you go, just go reach out to RJ. Anyone asking in ClickFunnels group who is the guy for Dream 100, RJ. Like, that's what happened. Why it happened is because whatever the thing that they were trying to solve, I have a solution for it, and it's not like I'm just pretending to be. I have done that, and then I'm showing it how you need to do it, and people have done that successfully as well. Okay, and in the recent time, the biggest breakthrough that I got was like last week I've interviewed Dana Derricks, and even he said that if you want to start Dream 100, follow RJ. And I'm like, I just need to trim that clip out there and need to publish it freaking everywhere, because Dana Derricks said that, and he even said that in the past as well. So that gives me an actual stamp out there in front of every single person who even thinks about Dream 100. I got the chance to go in and position myself. So a lot of times what happens is people talk about Dream 100, but they're not able to position them, because it's not easy to position where your competitors, and I don't want to say competitors, but the leaders are guys like Russell Brunson or Dana Derricks, because they have a lot of people as followers. So you can't actually go in and compete. You can go and collaborate, but even for collaborating out there, you need a lot of correct based marketing just to make sure that you can position it. It's a huge concept, but there's less leaders. So I got the chance after creating noise, just to make sure I can go in and position myself. And I didn't even to say myself, I'm a Dream 100 expert. I was saying I'm helping you guys to master Dream 100, but they're like, you're the Dream 100 expert out there, and people got results. One of my friends, like William Vinal, after he went into the Dream 100 program that we have, he went into lot of interactions with ClickFunnels. He got like relations manager Miles, and then a lot of interactions with other ClickFunnels communities out there. Started to get interaction with other his Dream 100. Some of the people out there got interaction with Dan Henry, like these type of people out there. They start to get interactions, and that's what they actually wanted to. They didn't knew how to do it. I showed them how to do it. Just go and do it. So that is why that is what happened. I had positioned myself, but I didn't claim. They got me claimed that I am the guy. I'm the go-to guy. That's what made me to that particular point. And it's a huge effect. Some people make six figures that don't have freaking exposure. It's good to have money, but you need to have exposure as well. Okay, and that's what got me. It got me revenue. It got me exposure as well. But still, it's something I can do whatever I want to do, and that's what freaking So that is a particular case where people just don't go in and understand the concept.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's fantastic. So, what's the one piece of advice that you would give someone when they're first starting out doing looking over the Dream 100 concept, getting their hands in there and deep diving into the Dream 100?
Yeah, so I would say two advices. One on increment of one. First thing is create your freaking Dream 100 list. Just do it. Okay, create your list out there, because I create the list. I don't create written list because it takes a lot of time. Some people do it. It's fine. I create list on basis of software that I use. Just to make sure that it makes easy for me to have an idea where I need to go and target. Second thing is have a clear idea. If you don't have the ability to go for 100 people in the initial start, go for 10, but have the idea what's happening in their world, so you know what's happening, rather than if you even go in and ask something out there, there's better timing. Okay, so you need to have a complete idea what's happening in their world out there. It's fine. How are you going to get the idea? Watch their profile, see their posts, read their email. If you have so time, it's okay. You're going to get idea of every freaking thing. And that is what I say to every single person out there. Have the ability to do the research and spend the time over your Dream 100 out there, so you know what's happening in their world as well. And I've been able to leverage that thing a lot of times. So that is the number one thing probably I'm going to say, that go and find and see what's happening in their world.
Great. And you're also a software creator, right, RJ?
Yeah, like what you said, man.
Sorry, it broke up again then. So you're also a software creator / owner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how much
100%.
does being a software creator have an impact on your audience? And by the way, when I say software creator, I'm on about a Chrome extension here, something
Yeah.
relatively small. It's not a massive project, is it? And you didn't do the coding yourself, did you, either?
Yeah, like I haven't coded myself. I'm a computer science student, but I don't want to code. I told you I'm a part-time student. Why even I spend my time to create an interface where I can just use pen and paper to create rough interface out there, and developer can go in and build it. So I didn't create it on my own. The best part was I got the developer from Pakistan itself, so it was easy for me to explain them in my native language what is the thing I want. And I even met them personally. That was also the key point out there, so they can keep themselves accountable. Anytime if I give them the task, that is not just freaking online. It's like, now I know you guys. Now I have that relation. So in terms of being a software owner, one thing if you realize, there are a lot of users than creators. Okay, the extension is going to be always less than the people who use them. it's regardless whatever the extension do, it's always going to increase your credibility when you say you have a software, even if that's a timer based software. Okay, because it's a software ultimately, regardless whatever it does, if it's in the public place. So it did affect me a lot, because before, like what I try to do and what I like to do out there, and you probably noticed that, because last time when we got in on an interview, it was probably around friend funnels, but the one thing, if you noticed, anytime I come up with anything out there, I already got myself positioned into something. I've already got myself positioned into that thing before I promote that thing. When it was software, I was positioned myself into automations. When I get into Dream 100, I position myself into Dream 100 and successfully. So whenever I try to get into it, I don't make people confused. They need to know about my previous things, but I don't make people confused, and I start to do
So I'm not really sure what's happened there. We've lost RJ. I believe he's coming back in. Yeah,
yeah.
he's back in.
Yeah, I just don't know what's happening. It was working freaking fine, but I don't know what, that's what I talked about. Internet do messed up,
Yeah,
and so yeah, that's the case what I was talking about. Like internet do come up and mess up, but yeah, the software had made a lot of effect. Because people, some of them even asked me to buy the software. They were like, "Hey, how much you gonna charge? We need your software." I'm like, no, because that software created a brand identity. If I can go in and sell, like it's something that people know about the software itself, even though if they haven't used it, and they know about me then. It creates an authority. There's a lot of time I went in and I went in some calls with my clients out there. I'm about to close, and they're like, "What do you do?" I was like, "Hey, I'm a affiliate marketer. I'm a coach, consultant. I have a software called Friend Funnels." Ooh, Friend Funnels. We know about it. It's cool. Created instant authority because they know about it, you know, and then I'll be able to close it because now I have instant authority over them, whatever I'm trying to do. So 100%, it makes a lot of effect, regardless whatever the software it is.
yeah. I I believe. Well, I believe that to be the case, so that's the reason why I thought I'd ask you about it.
Yeah,
And so you actually have some training on the Dream 100, don't you? Do you want to just tell the audience a little bit about your training that you have?
yeah. So if you go in the dream100masterclass.com, it's the dream100masterclass.com out there, and Michael can put up the link as well. So in Dream 100, I teach people how to master the concept of Dream 100. So what I is the implementation side. It's like how to implement. It's not like what is Dream 100. I talk about, I start from basics, and then I went in like freaking advanced, like how to do it. So, but yeah, I use the process of interviews to make it happen. But I have a framework regarding interviews, which I call interviews secrets, which is like create your list. It's like actually creating your list with you. Create your list. How to reach out to those people out there. I have the exact same script, and it's the only script that I use to get every freaking guest. Doesn't matter who is it. I provided this exact same script out there that they can use to reach out, because it's a respectful base rather than you having like pitching something out there. How to reach out, how to hook them up, how to create marketing noise, how to bring up for the interview, how to do the actual interview. And in actual interview, there's another sort of framework out there, because how do you start, how do you transition, how to make so. Because listen, if anyone is interviewing you and they've answered one question back and there's sheer silence, you're gonna realize that they don't know what you're talking about.
And I think we've just lost him again. He will be back with us in a second. And we are coming towards the end of our time anyway, so we're just wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Um, so it's back in. It's back in now.
Yeah. So I was talking about if you're trying to do an interview and once that person have answered the question and there's sheer silence, your momentum got broke. And now you don't know how to carry it in such a way it shouldn't feel boring. So a lot of people when I've done interviews, they're like, man, your transitions are freaking awesome. You like the way that you handle the interview as a guest because you were the guy who's making sure that he reach out to the end of the interview. You're the person who do the fulfillment, and that's what I call fulfillment for the interview. So I have literally the structure just to make sure how you can go and do it, and then repurposing the content as well. Apart from that, I told you, Ben Harris, who was former ClickFunnels affiliate manager, had did the training in our masterclass of how ClickFunnels is $100 million per year company do Dream 100 to nurture to the guy like Spencer to the guys like Tony Robbins. And then the best part, Dana Derricks, and he probably go in and charge like 10 grand for this exact same stuff, but he did the training in our Dream 100 masterclass of how to effectively do Dream 100. So the Dream 100 guy went in and do the Dream 100 training out there, which is freaking crazy. So that is one of the best part out there when it comes to the masterclass. So you just go in. Michael have already put it up the link, and you can go in and check it out.
So the links down in the description on where this is, so on YouTube, or if you are listening later on the podcast, it's in the show notes and will be on your podcast players show notes. Otherwise, if you just head over to michaelelisonline.com/go/dream100, that'll send you straight across to RJ's website where you can read some more information about this in the masterclass. It's a long sales page, not too long, but it's a long sales page. It goes in great detail. It's fantastic copy on there, and I'm pretty sure you'll just jump straight into it and go, yeah, that's for me, or that's not for me if it's not for you. It's been fantastic having you on the show, RJ. It's been great speaking to you about the Dream 100.
Truly appreciate it, man. And it's been great to be with you again.
Yeah, certainly. And guys, don't forget to tune in on the next episode of the Michael Ellis Show. And we'll see you later.